What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about the perfect man. All too often we hear people say, well, nobody's perfect. Usually to excuse infidelity or some other disastrous relationship habit. Every time I hear a so-called alpha or high-value man start talking about what a woman should expect from a man in a relationship, and the subject of a man's perfection or a man being good enough is brought up, it's always said that no man is perfect, with an insinuation that therefore means every man is going to cheat. Every time I hear a scorned or a woman who's gotten used to toxic relationships talk about, well, no man is perfect, it's to excuse the fact that before it even happens, years down the line, months down the line, or even days down the line, that she understands that because nobody is perfect, her man is going to cheat. Usually people say, well, men aren't perfect, to excuse what they believe to be the inevitable unfaithfulness. This is heartbreaking because it's not true. Every man doesn't cheat. Every man doesn't have an issue with loyalty or faithfulness. Of course, no man is perfect. No woman is perfect. But that doesn't mean every man is unfaithful or that every man will engage in infidelity. I'm not perfect. I don't know any guys who are perfect, but I know a hell of a lot of guys who are loyal, who don't cheat on their women. Those men exist. Perfect men do not. Loyal men exist. Perfect men do not. But stop telling yourself that a man's imperfection is his disloyalty, or a man's imperfection must inherently be his unfaithfulness, because that's just not true all the time. Some individuals, some humans are unfaithful to their partners. This is true. Women cheat almost as much as men, especially in marriages. So the assumption that a man, is incapable of being faithful through the duration of the relationship is just untrue. Again, loyal men exist. Perfect men do not, right? He might have other imperfections, but every man's imperfection, his singular imperfection, isn't going to be unfaithfulness or disloyalty. In fact, we all have many issues, many flaws. As humans, we are flawed from the very beginning, right? Our backgrounds determine how flawed we are. But women have to stop accepting the fact that they believe every man is going to eventually cheat. That belief is toxic, and it lowers your standards. It lowers the standards for your own conduct as well as your partner's. Most of the time when I hear one of these women talk about how all men cheat, no man is perfect, blah, 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 they're a woman who's been cheated on, right? Over and over again. They're a woman who've overcome traumatic experience and toxic relationships, but they're also usually women who have chosen ain't shit men, right? They have given themselves that experience, and so that becomes their reality, their paradigm. Right? Your paradigm is shaped by your experience. A lot of these guys that are training women to accept the fact that a man is going to cheat, who have lower standards for their own conduct, are either cheaters or have a history of cheating on women, misusing women, abusing women, neglecting their women, using their status and their perceived higher value than her to excuse behavior that shouldn't be acceptable in a relationship. Anyone who tells you that no one has the capability of being faithful or loyal isn't faithful or loyal, and they don't have that experience with their partners. So they can't be trusted, and they've learned not to trust because of that. But that doesn't mean that they made the best decisions, chose the right partners, or did the right things themselves. You got to take what some people say with a grain of salt. If it seems toxic or tainted or dark, they have a reason for that belief. But that doesn't mean that your path will lead you in the same direction. And that doesn't mean that you can't have something just because they didn't find it. Too often, people try to place their limitations on us. If they can't do something, if they can't have something, if they can't achieve something, they would rather believe that nobody can have it, nobody can achieve it, because then it makes them feel a little bit better about where they stand in life, what they've accomplished and what they've encountered, what they've experienced, what they've called into their own lives. Most of the time, people who have a limited belief or a limited faith in people have picked that up from a limited belief and a limited faith in themselves after really bad relationships or really bad experiences. They've lost hope in their ability to get and have the things that they want in life and in love, and so now they want to tear everybody else's hope down too. They want everybody else to feel it as hopeless as they do so that they can be justified in their experiences. Instead of making corrections, instead of making adjustments, instead of being more discerning, they can just move how they've been moving because it doesn't require any change from them. And if you give that person a microphone, they'll tell you that everybody cheats, so never require faithfulness. They'll tell you that everybody cheats, so never expect perfection. Of course you can never expect perfection, but you can also expect faithfulness. You can also expect loyalty from the right person if you pick the right person. But a man or woman's imperfections aren't always going to be in the realm of loyalty or faithfulness. Some people are just assholes. Some people are just inconsiderate. I myself am a know-it-all. Some people might annoy you. Some people might have an attitude problem. Some people might be a little bit lazy or overambitious or workaholics. There are a lot of issues that people can have that hurt relationships, but don't destroy them like cheating does. People are imperfect in a million different ways. But it should never be assumed that everybody's imperfection is unfaithfulness, because that's what a toxic person wants you to think, and an unfaithful person wants you to think. It excuses all of their misconduct and all of your misconduct because they don't believe they should do better or expect better. All we have is hope at the end of the day. Hope makes us put our shoes and pants and drawers and panties on every day to get back into the fight. If you've given up hope that anybody will ever love you in a way that you find acceptable, that you find fulfilling, then you've already lost the game and you've called in toxic relationships to your life. No man is perfect, but there are plenty of faithful men. And stop letting people tell you otherwise. And if that's just me selling dreams or capitalizing off of women's hurt, I guess I'll be that. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Follow me at Hick24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.